Welcome to Autocar Professional. This is Mukul Yudhveer Singh, and standing with me is Bharati Balaji, who is DGM of All India Distillers Association, also called as AIDA. Bharati, ethanol. You open the newspaper, you open social media, everywhere it is ethanol. Are we headed in a direction, especially the choices that we have seen? Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari said E100, then E20, E25. Are we replicating the Brazil model in India?
Thank you, first of all, for having me. Thank you, everybody. So yes, if you go back to what is ethanol blended program, it primarily started with only sugar industry, because at that point of time, sugar industry was in a dire strait. The farmers weren't being paid their cane dues. The industry was not in a great state. And that's when we realized, we got some studies from IIT Delhi, and we saw that ethanol as a product is a great for not only environment and reduction of pollution, but also, we don't have to be import dependent. And besides, of course, the rural economy. That's when the ethanol blended program started ongoing. But in 2014, we realized that for sustainable of the program, you cannot just depend on only single feedstock. And of course, Brazil is a success leader in the entire world, and we saw that. But the only difference between India and Brazil is still only on sugarcane. And here in India, the government took the flexibility of diversifying the feedstock basket, from sugarcane to maize to rice. And interestingly, now we have surpassed the contribution coming from the grain sector is almost 55 to 60%, and the balance is your sugarcane. And even in that, the maize is leading. So, and thanks to our energy crisis which is happening, and the government has realized that how important it is to promote the indigenous product, which is ethanol. There is a great potential, and luckily government is interested and keen we are getting to know the intentions of the government through various notifications. In this year, there are 5 notifications which have come out. And as an industry, we are very happy to see whether it is BI standards on E22, 25, 27 and 30, whether it's E85 or 100, whether it is rolling of flex fuel, whether it is your CAFE norms talking about your energy tailpipe emissions from a various vehicular. Certainly there is an intention, clear intention. Policy is coming in the right place. It is about now aligning your producers, that's our distillery members, to OEMs, automakers, to the government, everybody calibrated effort to take it further.
Interesting. The whole idea of serving the complete value chain from farmers to end consumers to people who drive vehicles, that sounds like a very solid plan. But then again, a lot of people don't know this, that the United States in the world is called the Saudi Arabia of ethanol. Do we see a looming threat of ethanol being imported from US as well, or are we ready with, as the Honorable Minister has said, E100? Can we do that in India without relying on any other country?
I think the stage is set completely without depending on any country. The reason being is, today we're sitting on 2,000 crore liters of capacity. And I am saying this 2,000 crore liters of capacity coming from 370 distilleries in India. There is much more capacity sitting on the ground level, which we still don't know in the official data. And out of the 370 distillers today, contributing to your 20% is only around 1,100 crore liters. We're still balance of 900. So even if another 300 crore liters is going towards your potable alcohol, chemical industry, pharmaceutical, we're still sitting around 600 to 700 liters. That would take care for another 5 years or so, supplying ethanol. So I don't see we becoming completely import dependent. In fact, the efforts of the government is to be free of being import dependent and start relying on indigenous for the benefit of all stakeholders in the value chain.
Interestingly, a lot of OEMs, vehicle OEMs in India, export a lot of vehicles outside India, Africa, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and other many neighboring countries. Do you see ethanol as an added opportunity?
I think the current state that as a country that we are in, we don't say that it is only a single technology which will be a success model. We are not saying ethanol will be either or, but it is a multi-technology pathway towards greener India or a cleaner India. Whether it is EVs or hydrogen-based, everybody will run. Yes, having said that, for automakers, what is required is a little incentive and a motivation from the central government in terms of policies. Because the EV, the GST and taxes that you see on an EV, which comes in 5%, is 40% on flex fuels. So that is where, as an association, All India Distillers Association, we are seeking from the government to reduce the GST. And not only GST, the car makers or the promotion of the flex fuels will happen even from the state governments. Because Sikkim is the only state in the country which has exempted your road tax for the flex fuels. So we're saying that every state government should learn from Sikkim and start adopting the model to promote your own product. And again, as I keep saying, reiterating, whether it's environment, whether it is your farmers, rural economy, whether it is a government, whether it is the industry, everybody is benefited in this. But again, I keep saying this, that it is your multi-technology pathway. This will run, do very well, and a consumer should be given a choice.
Perfect. I keep going back to Brazil because there is a lot of similarity between Brazil and India. The fuel prices, for instance, E85 versus normal fuel, the difference in fuel prices in Brazil is 30%. Here, it's 18 to 20%. Can we bring that margin here? Can we actually offer E85 and normal fuel, or can we even lower that? Is that possible?
That is possible in the near future. The reason being, Mukul, you've already seen Mr. Shri Nitin Gadkari ji has announced 20 rupees lesser, the E85 price as compared to. And even the current petrol price that you see, 100 rupees is a litre of a petrol. In that 20 rupees is your ethanol, which there is no excise duty on the 20 rupees, which is already a saving for the country, for the OMCs, right? So 80 rupees is the proportion which they pay excise duty. Going forward, definitely, the time there is a demand, and the demand will come when there is a lot of cars. A lot of cars will come when there is a policy in place and infrastructure in place and producers are anyway ready. All this subject to all conditions, you will see that pricing will come down furthermore in future. This is just the beginning.
Interesting. You must be speaking to a lot of OEMs, right? What are their views on that? Because we only see a limited number of flex fuel models, and that too are not seen on the roads. We've just witnessed launch of Maruti Suzuki Wagoner and a few Hero models, two-wheeler, but they're yet to be seen on the roads.
Yes. There are prototypes. I think by end of the year you will see many cars, whether it's Toyota, Mahindra, many of them coming on road. And again, there was a big push and motivation incentivized from the central government to come out to roll out all the flex fuels, and they will be coming out. But end of the day, as I said, that coming out only with the flex fuels will not help it. It will just be standing. It has to have a proper infrastructure, and of course the pricing, consumer friendly pricing, and of course as a producers, the quantity of the production, and this, we are already in this. So a lot of factors will depend going forward. And I think so far the intention of the government has been clear in setting up the policies. It's just the beginning. We see much more better things coming.
Addressing the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Many reports saying that the mileage goes down. What is, you must have done a lot of pilots with a lot of OEMs, both on existing cars. If they can be converted to, ethanol friendly fuels, what is your take on this?
So, the cars prior to 2023, yes, there is a fuel drop and there is efficiency loss, no doubt about it. And as an association, we are also seeking with the government to have a convertible kits. Certainly, and there is some incentive. You do incentivize the consumers to come up and have these conversion kits with your older vehicles. But going forward, if you see whether it is your E30 or E85 or E8500, number one, will not fit into the current. The fuel will not be compatible with the current vehicles. Let's be very clear on that. You need flex fuels, particularly for that. And even for E30, there has to be an engine modification, certainly. And we seek from the government, and I think government is very cognizant of this fact, that the engines need to be compatible with the fuel. So therefore, there is a report test being done. So we also insist on testing and certification from the government that every fuel should be adapted or compatible to that engine, and they are doing it. They are in the process of it. So there is a groundwork being done on that, is what I'm saying.
Interesting. One last question. We've scaled E20. Right? It's almost available at every fuel station in India at the moment. Do you think, would it be E22, E25 or E30 that would be next?
That's a question you need to ask from the government. But however, we are very positive that we will. I think the very fact that there are BIS standards which have come out, the very fact that there is, policies are in place itself shows that we are moving towards E25 or E30. We'll have to wait from the government to hear that, but let's just see, and we're hopeful that it will happen soon.
Perfect. Thank you for talking to Autocar Professional.
Thank you.
This is Mukul Yudhveer Singh signing off.
Thank you.